A champion was to be crowned. And you know you're going to leave it all out there on the field, making sure that there's no questions asked as far as could we have done this? Could we have made this play for this to happen this type of way? Could we have been able to run these type of plays for us to score additional points? Could the defense have changed up the coverage? Or better yet, could they have just gotten to that offensive play just a little bit quicker for them to stop them from scoring that touchdown? Guys, let me tell you something. This game got so far out of control so fast. You had to understand exactly what you were looking at here. And to be honest with you, I didn't think a team would get undressed like it got undressed in this game. I got to call it the way I see it because I know a lot of y'all will be like, well, Coach, you're being a little soft. Why don't you go ahead and say what it really is? Well, guys, guess what? I'm going to give it to you straight up and down. I'm just going to go ahead and lay it on out on the line for you so you can get exactly where I'm coming from. And we're going to talk about this SIAC Championship game right after this. It's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap me in the freedom tool. Tell them to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on in this thing because they're like, Coach, what's your thoughts on this game? Well, if this was a track meet, I would say there was runs that went on in this thing. Matter of fact, we can compare this to, I say, maybe a 4x100, where you had one leg was stronger than the other leg at one point in time throughout the race. And then another period of time in the race, you had another leg that was able to pick up and start catching up, started gaining a little bit of momentum. And then, that third leg kicked in, and all of a sudden you started seeing them turbos just go ahead, kick in. You seen the dust come up off them shoes, going around that curve, getting ready to go ahead and hand off that baton to the last guy that's got that last 100 yards to go ahead and bring it on home. And that's something that we saw in this game because I'm going to be real with you. Watching Clark Atlanta start this game out, I said, man, they're coming out in the same manner which they did the game when they played in Atlanta, Georgia for Clark Atlanta's homecoming. You had David Wright III out there on the field doing his thing, making sure he was able to lead Clark Atlanta Panthers football team down the field for them to get themselves positioned to put points on the board. Yeah, he capped off the initial drive when they were in Atlanta by rushing the ball in 6 yards for a touchdown. This time, he's out there airing that thing out. But then, you know what? Turn the ball over. You turn the ball over on your second possession, you go to drop back, get ready to throw the pass, it gets stripped out your hand, get tipped up, defensive player catch the ball, he up the field, touchdown. Now, come back on the next go-round. Guys turn around again, you throw an interception, driving the ball down the field again, and the interception is taken back down the field for Miles Collins to go ahead and position himself to score a second time. Now, it's just like, everything that Clark Atlanta thought they were going to be able to do in this game, they just did wrong. Heck, it got so bad that the center snapped the ball over the punter's head. The punter just went and kicked the ball out the back of the end zone and said, you know what? I'm not about to go ahead and allow these guys to get a 7 on us. We're just going to take the 2. We'll come back and live to fight another day. But you know what? That's exactly what Clark Atlanta did. They came back out and they fought. They scored 14 unanswered. Excuse me. Let me take that back. Because Miles Collins ended up scoring again. They scored another touchdown, which had them up 23-0. 23 unanswered points. But remember now, teams got up on Clark Atlanta in games all season long. And Clark Atlanta found a way to do what? Fight back and get back in this daggone game. And that's exactly what they did. They got out there. They got to doing their thing like they normally do. David Wright found Jamal Jones for a 15-yard touchdown pass. Matter of fact, that young man caught 2 of them boys that got Clark Atlanta back in this game. They was there. They had an opportunity to go ahead and cut into the lead, to be down 2 points. And guess what? Another turnover. Fumble the ball. Miles Collins get the ball back. They up the field. They score again right before They score again right before the half, making it score 29-14. Now, I got to be real with you. Looking at everything that took place in this game, there was a lot of scoring that happened in this game, but Miles Collins made sure that they were going to get out there and suffocate the Clark Atlanta Panthers offense, not allowing them to do what they love to do, which is throw that ball all over the field to the open receiver. You got Jamal Jones just catching passes all over the place. I mean, if you put the ball in the facility for him to catch a pass, he's going to catch that pass 9 times out of 10. It's going to be moving those chains, or in many instances, it was a touchdown. There was a few times that David Wright put that ball on the fingertips of Clark Atlanta receivers, and they could not pull the ball in to score touchdowns, or better yet, keep the chains moving for the team to continue to stay in this game. To be honest with you, this game just got out of control too quick, too fast. Miles College was looking to continue to keep moving things in the manner in which they did when they were here in Atlanta, Georgia. I think in that previous game that they played here in Atlanta, Clark Atlanta had 4 turnovers in that game. And I believe in this game, I think they might have had 5 total. I know Wright threw 3 interceptions in this game, and I think there was 2 fumbles that happened as well. But the funny thing is, when you look at the time of possession in this game, the time of possession shows a tight game. But because of the turnovers and the miscues and how quick Miles College was able to move that ball down the field and score points, guess what? They were able to get them points up on the board at a high clip, getting Clark Atlanta further behind on that scoreboard. Now, one thing I will say is that it kind of let me down. It was a little disturbing. Is that, when you get miscues out there on the field, your emotions start to get a little high. And, coach trying to do a little talking, trying to, coach up a little bit. And, emotions got to going all over the place. And, it was good to see that cooler heads prevailed, because they were able to come back out there and start scoring more points out there on the field. But I'll say this, one thing that Clark Atlanta did have an issue with was stopping Miles College defensive ends from coming up that field, getting after Wright while he's back there in that pocket. I mean, guys, if you can't stop the rush coming off those edges, there's not really much you're going to be able to do. But you got to give Clark Atlanta their props, because they damn sure stood out there. They fought to the very end. They made sure, hey, listen, if we ain't going to beat you, we going to make sure we put some pain on your behind. So when you get up off that ground, you know daggone well who you play. You play Clark Atlanta Panthers in this game. But you know what? This thing got so far out of control. Miles College ended up putting up 53 points. The final score was 53-25 in this game. Miles College was able to go ahead and secure that win. I mean, you got to give them their props. They were able to dominate in this game. Just looking back at what Clark Atlanta was able to do from an offensive standpoint, they were right the third through the ball 44 times, completing 25 for 356 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. I said 3 originally. It was 4 interceptions and a fumble in this game, and he was sacked 3 times. Now, Miles College quarterback on the other side, Cam Ivory, he threw the ball 21 times, completing 9 for 161 touchdown, 1 interception. Now, Mr. Javonte Leatherwood, that young man on the day, he had 2 rushing touchdowns as well as a passing touchdown in this game. But the man of the hour was none other than Gennaro Scott, who rushed the ball 15 times for 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, David Wright III was also the leading rusher for Clark Atlanta in this game, which he rushed the ball 9 times for 42 yards. Now, the thing is, the rushing attack for Clark Atlanta, they couldn't get it going at all. As I stated before, Miles College was just on their behinds, making sure, hey, look, you guys going to put this ball up in the air. We're going to force you to throw. We know daggone where you try to run it. We're going to go ahead and give you that work. And that's exactly what they were doing. They were putting the pressure on Clark Atlanta to where they could not figure out exactly what it was that they wanted to do with their offense. Basically, they became one-dimensional. But Jamal Jones, that man, listen, lights out for that young man. He had 7 receptions for 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I got to give it up to Armand Harris. He had 10 receptions for 146. Like I stated before, anything that Mr. Wright put out there in the atmosphere, listen, David Wright could have threw a ball to the moon in this game. And guess what? The Clark Atlanta receivers going to try to find a way to go get that boy. But there was times where balls, like I stated before, balls hit these receivers' hands in crucial moments, and they were unable to catch passes to help cut that score down. Like I said, listen, funny thing is, in the first half, Clark Atlanta could have cut that lead. They could have cut further into that lead. They scored 14 unanswered points. They had an opportunity to score 21. Unfortunately, they messed up on, fourth and 1. They couldn't convert. Then they had the opportunity to do it a second time, and that's when David Wright threw the interception. And from there on out, Miles College went on to score. They went on to run. They went on to score 16 unanswered points after going up 23 to nothing. Then it was 23-14. They scored another 16. Which was 39-14. Then finally, Clark Atlanta started they finally started getting that offense rolling, but it was too little too late because the time was just running off the clock. And Miles College, who can run the ball. Like I said before, they rushed the ball 42 times for 220 yards, and they had 5 rushing touchdowns in the game. So anytime you're able to rush the ball like that, guess what? I'm keeping your offense off the field, especially if that's your strong suit. But, guys, you got to give it up to Coach Shade and the Miles College Golden Bears football program. They were able to win the SIAC Championship. Congratulations to them. Coach Shade, hey, Coach Shade said give him a chance. If he get a chance to get the thing together, he's going to have that team right. They're going to be ready to compete, and that's what they did this season. Salute to you, Coach Shade, your program. Until, hey, Coach, going to go ahead and get up on out this day. Hey, again, I'm proud of you guys and what you were able to do. But until next time, be the one and lead.